What just happened?
You just won.
The Jags win? Really?
That was crazy, though.
Oh my gosh.
That was stressful.
That was stressful. Jaguars win 17-10 against the Houston Texans. Jags go to 2-1, and an absolute just. I don't even know what to say about that game.
It was weird.
It was weird.
It was strange.
Strange? Yes. Good one. But it was something. But the Jags ended up winning somehow. That was like the cardiac cats again. Let's toast. We gotta celebrate this.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, the Jags win. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the post-game show. Good spirits as always after a win. Cheers. Cheers. Nice. Thank God the Jags won, because honestly, this is not a game they deserve to win. This is kind of like last week where it was like, what the heck happened? And they still lost. But this week it was like, what is going on? They're gonna lose. I thought it was like, they're gonna lose this game.
Yeah.
And just all the missed opportunities, and they still ended up pulling it out to win, which is just incredible. What was your thoughts? What's your thoughts on the game?
A lot of balls being dropped by multiple people. It was like, what happened? What curse was put onto the Jags for this to happen?
I was gonna title this meltdown if the Jaguars lost that game, because at one point in the fourth quarter, when you need it the most, right? What were we tied at? No, it was 10-3, and we had drop. It was a drop by BTJ, drop by Parker Washington. No, drop by ETN, pick, interception, touchdown, busted coverage on the defense, and then another drop again, like on Parker Washington, and then I think another one on BTJ. So there was like straight up 4 or 5 drops in a row. And look, I'll be honest, yeah, that interception was terrible by Trevor. I don't know what he was doing. He threw it into double coverage. That was just probably one of his worst throws of the season so far. And Trevor always has like one of those a game where he'll be playing pretty well, but they don't have just like a terrible decision. We're just kind of used to it at this point when it comes to Trevor Lawrence. Like, that pick was terrible, but at some point you got to help your quarterback out. Like, yeah, the pick sucked, but he also threw 4 balls in a row on the money that should have been caught.
Yeah.
Were you okay?
On the money?
On the money, like a good throw.
All right.
4 good throws that should have been caught. Maybe not like perfect throws, but like if it hits the receiver's hands, they got to be caught in the NFL usually. So that happens, and then obviously the pick happens. If they catch those 2 balls, we're probably not even in that position for Trevor to even throw that. So I know I'm going to sound like a huge Trevor defender after like a terrible play. It was a terrible play, and there's no excuse for that, and he knew it too. But like, you got to help us out. There's like the drops are like contagious on our team.
That was weird.
Yeah. Now finally, BTJ ended up redeeming himself at the end with that awesome play up the middle.
Well, finally. Trevor, ran through, got the first down.
Trevor ran through, got the first down. It was kind of like a, oh no, Trevor, don't get hurt moment against the Texans flashbacks. But this time he got down, got the first down, and then it was a few plays later that big 55. It was a 55-yard.
That was so good for PTJ, because we know he's a good player, but this season he's just been so bad.
Another rough game.
So that really just showed, like, he still has it in him. It's just.
Yeah, I mean, it's still worrying. It's still worrying, but I'm glad that he ended with that kind of play. Maybe that gives him some confidence to spark something.
Mm-hmm.
It was an easy, just a crosser over the middle. He looked it in, caught it both hands, and then, he's fast, so he just ran down the sideline for big play, 46 yards on that play.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up with 2 receptions for 55 yards, 6 targets still. And he dropped at least 2 balls that I saw, and one of them obviously was unacceptable. I think that was the 4th down, or no, that was the 3rd down that he dropped.
Man. Yeah.
That was rough, and he looked pretty upset by that. And how could you not? But the Jaguars, pulled it out. The defense, A+ for the defense today. They literally only had 1 bad play the whole day, and that was Tyson Campbell, who...
The one touchdown.
The one touchdown, yeah, the one play they had all day. Tyson Campbell thinks that Nico Collins is running like a quick out route and tries to jump it, but he's actually running a double move, and like just wide open. There's nobody. And I thought from that moment, I was like, oh, the Jaguars are losing. This is how like the Jaguars always lose in the past, right? Is, you know, missed opportunities all game, and then a bad pick from Trevor, and then a busted coverage touchdown from the defense, uncomplimentary football. Jaguars are going to lose. That's what I think. But thankfully you're here with me and you give me a little positive energy. So you were saying, stop being so negative. Just be positive for once. And then I'm like, fine. And then like the next play, the Nico Collins fumble. Fumble. Tyson Campbell fumble. So totally redeemed himself, Tyson Campbell, after that busted coverage to knock the ball out from Nico Collins, which there's so many plays in this game where you're like, oh, that saved the game. And that one actually might have saved the game for the Jags because
they're about to score.
They're about to score again. It was 10-10.
Yeah.
Jags offense.
And you literally said right before.
I was like, oh, we need a big play. That's the only way we're winning this game is a fumble or an interception. And literally, and he caught it over the middle, and he was like at the 20-yard line. Like he was gonna they're gonna score like next play probably. And big play by Tyson Campbell. Totally redeemed himself from that. Obviously, the busted coverage. I don't know what he was just trying to get the ball, jump a route, but.
Well, your assumption was what 10-24. You said. So you said right before the play, like, oh, this would make my assumption come true.
Oh, if they got a pick six? No, that was at the end. It was 17-10, and it was the last play of the game. I was like, let's get a pick six. I had this game as 24-10 Jaguars to win.
And so if
it was a pick six, that would have been so that would have been fun. That would have been really good. But a great pick to the end of the game. Josh Hines Allen was just whooping their left tackle Ursary all game, and that last play. Also, he got there and got his hand on the ball to make it an errant throw. And good for Antonio Johnson, came off the bench. Eric Murray, I think, went out with an injury. And so Antonio Johnson came off the bench and he made a play, caught the ball, got his hands underneath it, didn't let it drop. I definitely had faith in the defense at the end, because I was like, okay, besides the one busted coverage, they haven't scored on us all game. But it's like, okay, 20 seconds left. I was like, defense is going to make a play. I was like, this game is going to end on a pick or a fumble. It has to, because
there's no other way.
There's no other way at this point, unless you stop them on fourth down. But good for the defense. Anthony Campanile. Texans got some problems now. We just buried them into 0-3.
Yeah, I do feel kind of bad.
Nah, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. This is where the Jags were last year, 0-3. The season was over before October. And hey, they've had their time at the top. They had their chances, and they honestly, with everything that happened, they had a chance to win the game, and they fumbled it away. That's just how the game works. I thought the Jags were going to do that, but the Texans out-jagged the Jags today, and ended up giving us the game with that fumble. And obviously, good on the Jags for punching it in. I actually don't like what Texans did to just let the Jags score. I do get it a little bit. Is like
we need to have the ball back. Yeah.
So they want to get the ball back, but so the Jags could have just ran the ball out and ran the clock down and then kicked the field goal, and then maybe they have 20 seconds. But still, the Jags have been known just to as I say it, piss down their leg all game. If I was D'Amico Ryans, I would have just given the Jags the opportunity to do that. Maybe a fumble happens instead of just letting ETN score right there, and then just obviously, your offense, which has been terrible all day outside of one play, to go down and score against a defense that has been shutting you down. Yeah. So that was pretty crazy. Just going through the game flow of this game is so weird. It was very boring, obviously, up until the last 5 or 6 minutes when everything happened. But the Texans' defense is really good. That's one thing I'll say. And they made the Jags feel really uncomfortable early on. The first thing I noticed is that they took the ball first. They won the toss and took the ball, which the Jags always want the ball first to get off to a big start. So I thought that was almost like the Texans kind of messing with Liam Cohen and our systems a little bit just by taking the ball first. Pinning us down at the goal line every time during special teams. And that's something I think the Jags need to fix moving forward, is figuring out how to get better field position, because we're losing the field position battle every single week so far. Every time I look up, either the Texans, the Bengals, the Panthers, they're starting on the 40 or the 35 or sometimes midfield 50, and the Jags are always starting at the 20, 25, 15, in that range. So we definitely got to fix that up a little bit. I think that's definitely kind of killing us on our offense to be able to get rhythm.
Also, I feel like it was like we were playing flag football for a while.
Why do you say that?
The interceptions, just flag, or not interceptions. I'm sorry, just like
the penalties.
The penalties.
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that. Flag football. It's a good one. Penalties. Oh, killing us. Still killing us. Like on offense, constantly there's an illegal shift or a holding or a false start. And then on the defensive side, there was the one play where they got a field goal. That whole drive was defensive penalties. We get them to 3rd and long, and then there'd be some kind of holding or a personal foul that kept them in the game. So that was definitely something got to clean up. It's almost getting to the point where I think penalties, like this team is just who this team is. Like they're just gonna have a bunch of penalties. Rookie head coach, obviously, it's gonna take some time for that.
We got another illegal shift.
Illegal shift. Like the offense just.
Yeah, when they showed it, it felt like he stopped for a second.
Yeah, that was a weird. I don't know. The illegal shift is still a little bit. I don't exactly know what's going on there. They explain it, and I know what it is. It's more of just like when two people are moving at the same time, which you're not supposed to have. But they showed it, and it was like the guy stopped for like a second, and then the guy then started moving.
Right.
I don't know, but either way, they got to fix that. It's looking like Travis Hunter is a big reason for a lot of that. I feel like every time there's an illegal shift, like it has to do with Travis Hunter maybe not knowing the field. And this is another game that we still haven't had a Travis Hunter game. He did have one big play.
He had a really good play.
He had one big play. Finally, he made a play. But this is the 3rd week of the NFL season, and we're saying, oh, look, he made a play. He did something.
Well, I think we're just been giving it to other people.
Yeah, this offense is definitely very, widespread. We're just giving people the
last
ball.
thing we want to do is keep giving it to him, and then he can't do defense, or he gets hurt or something. We need to spread it out more, I think.
Yeah,
I think they're doing good.
I mean, you look at the stats on the receiving end. I mean, you got Brenton Strange leading the charge again with 6 receptions, 61 yards. Brian Thomas Jr., 2 receptions, 55 yards. Parker Washington, 4 receptions for 34 yards. He also led the team in targets today. So you can see kind of like Parker Washington is one of the only guys that Trevor really trusts right now, and he actually still had 2 drops today. Even Tim Patrick had a big play, one reception, 16 yards. But we're getting the ball to all of these different guys. It's hard for one person to really stand out. And
it's like a team, yeah.
Yeah, and Travis Hunter, he had 2 targets, 1 catch for 21 yards.
Where I feel like Texans were only 12. 12 was their superstar, but they were only throwing.
Yeah, Nico Collins. Yeah, that was.
He was very talented.
That was my key to the game, though. Is that he's one of the best receivers in the NFL. It's like my key to the game was for the Jaguars' defensive side is pressure Stroud, which I think our defensive line did really good pressuring him, and don't let Nico Collins beat you. And besides the one play where he got the touchdown, that was the only time we really let him beat us.
Petty points.
There you go. Back to a little bit to Travis Hunter. I saw him a lot on defense. He was on both sides of the field again today, which a lot of people aren't liking, but I think he actually had a lot better of a defensive performance today. Almost every time I saw him on the field, he was really sticky in coverage and really helped out that defense on the other side, kind of locking down. I even saw him on Nico Collins a lot. They were putting him on the number 1 receiver, and he was doing really well against Collins. He did let up a few catches. To Nico Collins, which is okay. I mean, he's a great wide receiver in himself. But I did see that they started putting him on the number 2s and 3s, on Kirk and on Higgins, and then they ended up putting Tyson Campbell on Nico Collins for the rest of the game because our number 1 versus their number 1. Travis Hunter again, he made a play. He made that great 21-yard catch to kind of get us a first down on that second and 25 or something. It's good to see it, but I'd like to see more from him. I'd still like to see them dial up, maybe a more intermediate throws, not just, a quick, out route, and then try to see if I do like getting him the ball in space, try to see if he can make a move, which he did on that play, but, I'd just like to see a little bit more. He's the number 2 pick in the draft. We traded up for him. I know he's a rookie. He's still got a long way to go, but we got to see some more out of him. I'd like to see some more usage, but it's good that we don't necessarily need him to have a big game in order to kind of survive and win the game. As far as Trevor's performance, we touched on it a little bit. He ended the day with 50%, 20 of 40 for 222 and 1 interception, no touchdowns. Overall, I'd say Trevor's performance is just kind of like the offense in general. It was just kind of rough all day. He started out really well. He started out 5, 6 of 7 with on that first drive to get the touchdown. And I always thought, oh, Trevor's,
He's sharp.
He's sharp today. He's doing well. But then, Houston, I mean, hats off to their defense. They're a really good defense, but they, and of course our wide receivers not helping out Trevor at all with, I mean, I counted at least 5 drops. I think there might have been more. There might have been 6 or 7, which is crazy. And the Jags already
5 total. I thought
5. I think there was a few early on in the game too, but
I thought there was 4 in a row and then 5 total.
Yeah, might have been. But I know the Jags already lead the league in drops so far this year. And so it's like, again, and I've even said this in past videos, the Jaguars have led the league in drops almost every single year that Trevor's been in the league. So it's like, when is this going to finally...
Which is weird because I don't feel like I blame it on Trevor. Because it seems like he's throwing it to them.
Well, no,
right?
it's the wide receiver drops the ball. As a wide receiver, if the ball hits you in the hands, you're paid, you catch the ball. It's the NFL, more than the pros. So, yeah, Trevor maybe doesn't have the easiest ball to catch, it looks like, because maybe he just throws it really hard or something, or maybe he doesn't place it in the perfect spot every time, but still, you're getting paid to catch the ball. Gotta catch the ball. The run game was definitely a little concerning today. So ETN actually, end of the day, not terrible. It was 16 carries for 56 yards and a touchdown. He had a 10-yard run. Bashal Tutin, 6 carries for 21 yards and a touchdown. So good for him. He got his first. And Trevor got two rushes for 9 yards. Clutch when it mattered. But it really looked like the Texans defense sold out to stop the run. We're not letting the run game beat them. And they did so because you're starting to see if the Jags can't run the ball, it's looking like their whole offense changes. And at one point, they straight up abandoned the run in the first half even. Second quarter, we were just seeing Trevor dropping back almost every single time in a row. And anytime he would run the ball, it'd be 1 yard or getting stopped. And it did start to change in the when it got later in the game. We started running the ball a little better, getting more chunk yardage, and then that helped out the pass a lot more. But then when we did do that, they started dropping the ball. So it was very the offense all day was very uncomplimentary.
Yeah.
Just very one guy messes up on this play, and then the next play this guy messes up, and it's okay, what are we doing?
And then we were 4th and 1, but instead of going for it, we decided to kick the field goal. And the problem with that was, he called the timeout.
Yeah, good call on that.
That made him miss the field goal.
Yeah. So we iced our own kicker, and this is another one of those this is last week on the 4th and 5 when it was dude, what are you doing? Just take the points, go up 6, and now the other team has to score a touchdown. Changes the whole game. In this case, it was a 4th and 2, and no, was it 4th and 2?
It was 4th and 2, 4th and 1.
I don't know, but Liam Cohen was very indecisive on it. At first, he kept the offense out there, and then he brought them back, and then set the field goal out there, and because he was indecisive about it, it left barely any time for them to get the kickoff. And they would have gotten it off, but then at the last minute he hits a timeout, and now Cam Little's sitting there. He's got to wait another minute and a half to kick his field goal. If anything, it's better when kickers don't have a lot of time because they're not in their own head. They're not thinking. They're just oh, this is practice because I'm going to make the kick. When you call a timeout and then you make him sit there for a minute and a half, it's you're icing your own kicker, and then he misses it. Cam's first kick of the year, which couldn't have come at a worse time, but obviously, thankfully, it didn't matter a whole lot. But I thought that was a very...
and a 41-yarder, something... Was it 41 yards?
It was a 47-yard, which in the NFL, that's pretty automatic. If it's under 50, you got to hit it. There's no excuse. So,
and we know that he can.
We know he can. I mean, he had a 52-yarder earlier in the game. It didn't count because we had the leverage penalty.
Which was crazy.
Which was crazy in itself. But that was a little concerning to see him miss a kick like that. Hopefully that's not, He did make another kick later, so no worries on that.
It's a Liam, a coaching.
That was a coaching mishap. What are you doing? You wasted a timeout. If anything, just take the delay of game maybe, and then you can move it back 5 yards. We know he can hit 50 to 60 yarder automatic. Don't.
Except this one time.
Don't ice him. I don't know. Yeah, except this time, right? So the second, I highlighted this. The second half, the first drive, took 8 minutes off the clock just for a field goal. And it's good that they got points on that. In this game, points were at a premium. You had to get points everywhere. And you could see that as well. D'Amico Ryans was taking a field goal any chance he could get. Thank God he missed a field goal as well. The Jaguars defense, again, edge rushers were just wrecking this game. Our D-line. Armstead was getting great pressure up the middle. Love to see that. And Walker and Allen were just having a day. And we'll get to them soon in our players of the game. But just so many missed opportunities. It's like the Jags won, but it felt more like they just survived and like.
It kind of looked like the old Jags. Where the last 2 games they were really looking sharp. They were really looking good. They had one good drive at the beginning, and then after that, I was like, okay, now.
Yeah, like and maybe this is just hats off to the Texans. Even though they're 0-3, they still have a really talented roster and a top 5 defense in the NFL. So it's like, moving the ball was just so hard for the Jags today, outside of like 1 or 2 drives. It would happen so much where the defense would, do an awesome play, set us up in great field position, get a pick. Jordan Lewis gets a pick. Devin Lloyd gets the fumble. Or we pin him back and then we get great field position. We're at like the 45 or something, and then the offense just sputters out. Just total missed opportunity. Even just get 20 yards and kick a field goal. If they were to do that, like if I were to count, I didn't count, but if I were to count every time the defense set the Jaguars offense up for an easy score or like an easy drive to take control of the game, they might have won by 30. Even if they just kicked like field goals. Like their the first half stats, they did a touchdown to start the game, and then they went 5 punts in a row. And again, they didn't really score again until really late in the second half, when all the craziness happened, where there was picks, there was a pick, and then like touchdowns, coming out of nowhere. We already talked about like that the offensive meltdown and like
there was a fight.
Oh yeah, it's a fight. So
there's some beef.
I definitely was one that kind of put this game up, like built this game up because of the whole revenge aspect of Trevor and
And Zero also hit another one of our guys, Brown.
I know, yeah. Oh yeah, De'Ami Brown got hurt. I hope he's okay. That would be a huge blow. I mean, we have a lot of receivers that can kind of like fill in and do stuff, but
we counted on him for sure.
Yeah, he's we're counting on him a lot to like just be consistent and really, yeah, we could have used him out there. We could have used him out there with all those drops going on, and that, yeah, and BTJ. Oh, sorry, what were we talking about? Oh, the drama. Sorry. And really, it didn't really see much. Yeah, there was a fight early on.
Oh, so after Zero hit Brown, I think Trevor was like, I saw like a little.
Oh,
that was not the fight though. But I saw a little piece where he went up to him.
Trevor
could
definitely be a little pissy when it comes to like, especially the division.
I don't remember his name even.
Aziz Al-Shir. Yeah, he definitely.
It's just a game, guys. In the day, like don't hurt people on purpose.
He was targeting. He hurt Brown pretty bad. It's like, man.
What was the tweet he said before, or what was it? It was like an interview.
Oh, he said, I want to hit them as hard as possible or something.
Yeah, it's like teamsmanship.
Come on, man.
But yeah. Anyways.
At one point, yeah, they were. I mean, it's a division game, so they're always tough. They're always like, they're always a little chippy. There's always going to be a little bit of fights. Like the Jags don't have another division game until like week 9 or 10, but. Like I'm sure stuff like that's going to happen then too. I think we play Houston at Houston then. So that's going to be a good game. If we can go for a sweep of the Texans, that would be great. But not a whole lot. I was expecting a little bit more chippiness, to be honest. I thought like, not even Kirk, just more of like, I'm glad it wasn't a whole thing because I think they were just like very mature, just like, okay, let's just play football. I think Trevor, he had that one moment where he was in the face, but I think he's a little bit like that in general on the field. He didn't, it would have been nice if he would have like ran and like went right into Al-Shir's face, like did a little first down or something.
That would have been unsportsmanlike.
That might have been a little, yeah. But I think he's just a little above that, thankfully. But at one point I said this game sucks.
Literally.
So many missed opportunities, and the Jaguars just letting Houston hang in there all game. And I thought it was like, oh, this is just going to be a repeat of last week. For some reason, we're going to let the other team hang around and end up losing this game.
In the last few seconds. That's what I was looking at.
It was 10-3. It was Jaguars really dominant. Defense definitely dominating. Like Stroud had nothing going on all day until the pick happened, and then he had the big play to Collins, which really, I mean, like he was wide open like by 30 yards. Like, and anyone can hit that throw, but. Just to let them hang around like that is a little concerning. And I'm just hoping that this is just one of those games where early on the Jaguars just survive. We're at a winning record. Jags fans celebrate like we're 2-1. And even though I expected this, I expected the Jags to be 2-1 at this point. I think given how the team has looked against like the Bengals, against the Panthers, even though the Bengals did get absolutely smoked today by the Vikings, so let's not worry about that. I think it changes everything about the next few weeks because we have San Francisco next week, that 4:30 p.m. game in San Francisco. That's going to be a rough game because San Francisco is good. It's on the West Coast. The Jags never win on the West Coast. So getting this game was so important to kind of set up. We have San Francisco and then we have Kansas City at home. So those are going to be two really tough games for the Jags. And we're going to see what they're all about. If we can just pull out one of these two games, I think that would be huge, especially with, I think Seattle is coming here in week 6. So I think it was great that the Jags were able to get this game and just get an ugly win. And that's what this was. It was an ugly win. Not something you can feel great about, but you can feel good on two things. Jaguars have a winning record. They're number 2 in the AFC South. The Colts are going to be a problem, unfortunately. And we just buried the Houston Texans. Not that they're done. They're not done, but given their schedule, they have a first-place schedule. They got some tough games coming up. And, 0-3, it's like a 1% chance or something to make the playoffs. You just knocked Houston out. You don't have to worry about them anymore. All you have to worry about is yourself and possibly the Colts. Because Titans are 0-3, Colts are 3-0. They have had a really easy cake schedule coming up soon, but I think it is going to get a little tougher for them down the stretch. And I just don't know if the Colts can really keep this up for so long. I mean, I think they still haven't punted in 3 games, which is kind of insane. I think that luck is going to kind of turn soon. But good for the Jags, just uglying out a win at home. You had to have this one. You couldn't let Texans beat you here, especially after everything that's happened. The offense is obviously going to get a lot of attention this week, but I think what should get more attention is just how good the defense played in general. Wonderful. Because they were complementary to the Jaguars' horrible offensive meltdown.
Yeah, so we would get an interception or whatever, and we would get it back, and then nothing would happen, basically. So that you would see the defense trying, doing their thing,
But they never let up. Besides the busted coverage, which was oh, this is so Jags, they still came back and made up for it. Because after the busted coverage, the offense comes out, doesn't do anything. Great, it's 10-10. Oh, that was the 4th down. Now the Texans have it at midfield, and they're marching down the field, and then boom, Tyson Cable makes a play. And that's what I love about this defense. Last year, the defense was just terrible, and nobody made plays. You can't have a boom or bust defense, but then you don't have any boom. There'll be a lot of defense that they'll fly around, they'll give up big plays, but they at least get the ball back to kind of make it up. Last year, they didn't get any turnovers. We actually just tied. We got more interceptions in 3 weeks this year than we had all last year. And that's what I like about this defense is that they're stingy, they fly around, and they get the ball and make plays. And that's what you need your defense to do. Are they the best defense in the NFL? No. They still have a little bit of holes in their secondary. We'll see how Travis Hunter kind of develops still. He's been doing pretty well, though. Our linebacker play has been really excellent, and our D-line really controlled the game and really led to us winning. That last play, that was Josh Hines-Allen making a play when he needed to happen. I even said it. I was like, he needs to make a play right here to win the game. And he got in the backfield, affected the pass. Antonio Johnson catches the ball. And that's what I like about this defense. I'm really excited about this defense. Offense, yes, that was concerning, but if it's a new system, it's going to take a while. They did play really well the last 2 weeks, and I think they can kind of get back on track next week, hopefully against the 49ers. But for them to have such a bad outing, but for the defense to pick them up is really concerning, or really just good to see. So really happy about that. The offense at one point did look broken, and I'm sure we're going to break it down all week. We're going to talk about what's wrong with their wide receivers, why can't they catch the ball, and what happened to our running game. I'd like to chalk this up to just maybe some week 3 growing pains. It's still early, and we just played a really great defense, and I think they'll get a little better. And at one point, I almost gave up hope. I said, Jags don't deserve to win this game. Houston, you can have it. I'm sick of this team already. But thankfully, we got those positive vibes in there, and the defense made a great play. And BTJ redemption.
That was awesome.
That was great. That was great to see for him. So, like I said, hopefully this is just like maybe you can take a deep breath, like, oh, okay, I made a play.
A good play.
Oh, he had that one drop. Remember that beautiful ball down the sideline, and he had it in his hands and still dropped it. So
it was a chance for us to get first down.
That was a big chance for him to get, a first big play, first down, big chunk yardage play. But at the end, he made the big play to kind of set us up to win the game.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Maybe something with their gloves, because after that, like,
everyone change their gloves. Just take off the gloves. Go barehanded. Let's go. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, hopefully that just gives a little shot in the arm for him to kind of like have some more confidence. And they have confidence in him. They're still looking his way. They're still targeting him. At one point, I was saying, like, just don't look at BTJ right now. Like, we gotta see who's actually gonna step up and make a play. But hey, hats off to them. They kept throwing it to him. They kept giving him a chance, and he made the play. But speaking of making a plays, let's head off to the offensive and defensive player of the game. Offensive player of the game. Who you got?
Offense is really hard. I don't know if it was...
the offense is pretty bad today.
Stranger in Washington. I don't know if it was Stranger Washington. It was a meeting, and Trevor threw it down the middle, and it was a beautiful, like, probably like some of the most beautiful catch
I think that was Parker Washington.
Yeah. So
and he got like slammed by Elshayer on that play. He still held on to the ball.
Yeah, him, obviously BTJ's redemption was amazing, but I think I might just gonna go with Tootin.
Tootin? Yeah. Really? Running back?
Mm-hmm.
Why Bashal Tootin?
Well, I thought like he just played like a good game, and then like got the touchdown. So.
Yeah, he got his first career touchdown. He had a few plays where there was this one play I remember where it looked like he was going to get down early, but he just kept moving his legs, kept his legs underneath him, and grinded out some good yardage. So that's a good one. And I didn't think of Tootin, but he's really developing a lot. I'm really excited for him. And Travis Etienne kind of didn't have the best game. He had a few good runs, but like they were keying in on him really early on. But Tootin had a few good runs, good touchdown. My offensive player of the game, it's really hard to choose because there's not a lot of good to have come from this game. But I'm going to give it to Brenton Strange because while the offense was melting down, and I could have given it to BTJ, but I think just consistency-wise, I'm going to give it to Strange. Because while the offense was melting down, there was only one guy who was consistently, reliably catching the ball and getting first downs. That was Brenton Strange. From the start to finish, yes, the offense sputtered out a lot, but when the offense was good, when they were marching down the field, they were getting the ball to Brenton Strange. And I think even though, what did he have on the day? He led the league, or he led the team in yards again. 6 receptions for 61 yards and a long of 16. I think he was targeted 7 times and caught the ball 6 times. So when you look at everybody else's target percentage, I mean, it's a big reason why Trevor was 50%. In the NFL, you don't see quarterbacks going for 50%. That's really bad. But we counted at least 5. I think there could have been 6 or 7 drops. And that puts him up to 26, 27 of 40, and that completely changes his whole quarterback rating and yards. Probably left a good 50 yards on the field just from all those drops. So I'm gonna go with Strange just because I think he was just the most consistent offensive player overall. You can't say he did anything bad in the game. He played really well, and yes, BT did redeem himself and had the explosive play at the end. But he also dropped at least 2 really big passes. So I'm going to say that. Defensive player of the game, who you got? A lot to choose from. Number 2, Jordan Lewis. What a game. 2 and Tootin, yeah. Jordan Lewis, gosh, what a signing. I didn't really know what to make of it when we got him because it was like, there was like, that was their big free agent signing was Jordan Lewis. I was like, I don't really know much about him. Apparently he's like one of the best nickel corners in the NFL, but I'm like, okay, nickel corner, like that doesn't like make you a top 5 defense. But the plays he was making, just tackling in the backfield consistently, right?
He did an interception.
That amazing interception off Stroud.
And then did he?
He almost got another one.
Yeah, that's what it was.
He was covering Kirk, and he almost got him on that one.
Who punched the ball out 12?
That was Tyson Campbell, who also had a great game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Jordan Lewis. That's a great one. I was really between like 3 or 4 players, honestly, because I could have gone Jordan Lewis, that's definitely up there. That was a good pick. I could have gone Tyson Campbell because
That was a huge play.
that fumble literally is the play of the game. That saved because the Texans were going to score and take the lead on that play, but he punched the ball out and really redeemed himself from that busting coverage. But because of that busting coverage, I think, can't give it to him because he's the reason why they scored on that big play. I mean, we don't know for sure. There might have supposed to have been like safety help over the top, but we just didn't get it to him. But I'm going to go with Josh Hines Allen as the player of the game. He was wrecking the game the whole day. The reason why Houston couldn't get anything going the whole day was because of his the pressure he was getting on Stroud off the left end. And Trayvon Walker also had a great day on the other side too. He got a sack and he was in the backfield all day as well. And we got some good push up the middle. But Josh Hines Allen finally got home on a few, and he was just putting Ursary in a blender all day. Just he was having a rough day, and he's a rookie, so it makes sense. But I'm gonna go Josh Hines Allen, and he made the play at the end to win us the game too, with the last play of the game. So I'm gonna go him, but him and Jordan Lewis, and you could say Tyson Campbell as well. Made some great plays. But the Jags are 2-1. Feels good. This is where I thought we would be through 3 weeks. Does this mean we're gonna make the playoffs? No. Still a long season, and we have a few rough games coming up. That I don't really expect the Jaguars to win per se, but if the offense can kind of get back on track, the defense keep playing like this, they can win every game, honestly. But gutted out a tough home win. I can't ask for much more. The Jaguars to be 2-1 at the end of the day. You got any final thoughts on the game or on the Jags in general?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, enough said. I think we've talked a lot about this. But
what are your thoughts?
Yeah, what are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments. What do you think about the Jags? What about, I would have liked to see them really put it to the Texans, really, get a big, comfortable lead and everything. But hey, we're Jags fans. I'll take a rough home win any day of the week, especially last year when we didn't win at all at home. Or we didn't win at all in general. But 2-0 at home so far. We'll see how this Jags team gets going. Obviously, a lot of growing pains, but I can't complain when you win a ball game. So awesome. It's gonna be a good week. We got Victory Monday coming up. Got this. Gonna get this video out soon, so you guys can watch this on a great Victory Monday, and I'll have my preview for next week coming out this week as well, hopefully around Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. But hey, go Jags, 2-1, and let's go put it to the 49ers next week. Let's go. Duval.
Duval.
See you later.